Good morning, everybody. Drew Rebar, Auditing Reno 911. Thank you for watching today. So today I've got some new information to go over. The lawsuits that I'm involved in. So I'm suing, it's called Our Center, along with Washoe County, the library system. And I wanted to give you guys some updates on that. And for anybody that wants to share this, copy this, save it, what we're going to be talking about today is the fact that the attorneys for Our Center, a woman named Allison Curtis and her employees specifically, they're seeking a restraining order against me, and they want me to take my videos down. So save my videos, share my videos. I'm going to give free use to everybody with regards to sharing anything about the Washoe County library system and this lawsuit, because if the judge makes me take them down, well, now the rest of you might have some information to share. So just a little bit of background. A couple years ago, I tried to go to the library, and the library wouldn't let me in because they were having a festival for the drag queen story hour. And evidently, the drag queens only like little kids in the libraries. I don't know why you only want little kids in the library, drag queens. Why wouldn't you want adults? Why wouldn't you want elderly people, homeless people, Asian people, white people, African people? Why only little kids locked in the libraries? Anyways, the libraries by law are supposed to be free and open to everybody in the public. No discrimination allowed in the libraries. It's kind of like banning books. We don't like banning books. That's not a good thing. Banning people from libraries and public events, that's a bad thing too, right? Well, my opinion, banning people from anything public is a bad thing. But look at this. The city of Reno and Our Center, and I think, I'm not sure, I don't have the proof yet, but Washoe County, looks like they've all been involved with what's called a banned list. In this banned list, well, that's got 6 people on the banned list. All these people are politically active. I'm politically active. In case you didn't know, I'm running for Assembly District 40. Just want common sense spending. Let's not overspend our budget. Let's spend things on things that make sense, and let's not give a bunch of money to nonprofit, non-governmental organizations so they can funnel it out for political purposes. Let's spend money on our roads. Let's spend money on lots of good police officers. That's a good question for everybody. If police officers allow bad police officers to exist, are there any good police officers? Something to ponder. Personally, I think if you take an oath to uphold the law and uphold the Constitution, enforce the law, and you're a good cop, it doesn't matter who you work for or what you do. Somebody breaks the law, you take action, you arrest them, and you send them over to the attorney's office and try to get them prosecuted for the violations of the law that they did. That's what a good cop does. You don't look at the thin blue line and say, if you work for the government or you work for the cops, you're exempt from the laws. And that seems to be my view of what's happened to our society in the last bunch of decades. Is there's a two-tier justice system. That two-tier justice system is, what's good for me and the rest of the public out there. We've got to abide by the laws. If we screw up on a date or a time on a form, we got to pay a bunch of money. If you go a couple miles an hour over the speed limit, or you park where you're not supposed to park, hammer is brought down on the people. But if you work for the government, well, you're pretty much exempt from it. Anyways, let's get back to what's going on with the lawyers in this case. So what I'm going to do here is, let's share some public documents. So like I said, the Our Center people, they put in a motion for a case management conference and a restraining order and sanctions. They don't like my videos. So you guys be the judge before the judge either takes them down or lets them stay up, because one day that'll come. I'll go in front of the judge and he'll decide if I can keep talking and keep publishing information and let you all decide what's going on in our society. That's really my goal. The whole purpose of this channel is government oversight. I don't try to go target private businesses. I never tried to go target Our Center. I found out about this Our Center thing based on going to the library, and you had all these LGBTQ people out front with big old waving umbrellas out there and pushing people away, and they were acting as I think they referred to them in the court documents as or actually it was the county emails. The Washoe County emails referred to them as the quote unquote Rainbow Brigade, and they were providing security for these drag queen events to keep people out they didn't like. Anyways, let's get back to this this little thing here. So it goes into Sierra Crest Law. Allison R. Curtis, Esquire, her bar number is 13875, and Jerry C. Carter, he's the owner or principal or whatever of Sierra Crest Law, and they've got their motion here. And like I said, what they want to do, they want to stop me from talking. So they say, after careful consideration, Our Center, Build Our Center, BOC, files this motion for an emergency case management conference, restraining order and sanctions against plaintiff Drew Rebar. That's me. Hey. BOC attempted to resolve these issues without court intervention and in good faith with Mr. Rebar. Well, what she did is she sent me an email that said cease and desist. There was no real communication. She just orders me what to do and expects me to do it. That's not how America works. I don't get to order you. You don't get to order me unless there's an agreement like, hey, you want a job? Come work for me. Oh, by the way, I'm working on selling my business. If you want to have a towing company in Northern Nevada, give me a call. It's for sale. I'm going to work on this government corruption thing instead of running my business like I used to. So that's going to be my full-time goal here is how do we get rid of the corruption in government? How do we fight for the people so that the average person can have a good life, buy a house, have a family? The American dream that seems to be gone now. But anyways, back to this restraining order thing. So she says she attempted to resolve these things, but unfortunately in my crusade against BOC, I don't have a crusade against BOC. All the members of BOC, go sleep with who you want. Live your life the way you want. Ain't my job to judge you. You judge your own life. If we get along, cool. If we don't get along, cool. It is what it is. So then they go to say that they want the court to intervene and sanction my vexatious conduct. So let me know in the comments if you think I'm vexatious. Whatever the heck that means, vexatious. On top of posting email correspondence, well, now I'm posting court documents. Look at this, public records being posted. Imagine that. Between counsel, Mr. Rebar, and his YouTube channel. Yep, we're back on YouTube. I'm streaming on Facebook too. I've got 2 channels on Facebook. If you want to like those, I'd appreciate that. One is my political campaign Facebook, Rebar for Nevada Assembly, and then Auditing Reno 911 on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. Anyways, let's see, back to this. Oh, I got a Twitter account, and I'm posting what she calls defamatory conduct. Well, if I'm defamatory, sue me for libel. If I say something that's not right, I'll apologize. I'll take it down. I'm not intending to libel anybody. I'm just trying to show everybody the truth. That's why I show the videos with my words, just like I'm doing here. I'm showing the court documents, putting it out online, and you watching this video, you get to judge. Am I right? Am I wrong? Plus, hey, I'm putting my name on a ballot. You can either vote for me or vote against me. Or give me a vote just because you don't like the other guy. Heck, that seems to be how the political system in our country works. Are we ever really given a good choice of any candidates? So she goes, posting defamatory content. So I deny that. She said that I posted some stuff on her Google reviews on their law firm page. I did. I posted exactly what happened in my videos. So again, take me to court for libel, or send me a letter, prove to me where I'm libeling you, and I'll apologize and I'll put up a video saying, heck, I'm wrong. But I don't think I'm wrong. I think these attorneys are full of shit. Again, it's for you guys to decide watching the video. I'm just going to share with you what's being said. Mr. Rebar is also physically pursuing, harassing Build Our Center board members at their places of work. Now, this one's the biggest joke of all. Okay, so I don't know who the board members were. I do know now because, well, one of them kicked me out of Pride, Dr. Alan Ratliff. He works for University of Nevada, Reno. And if you watched my video on being removed from Pride, you know, everybody's welcome and inclusive in Pride, except for, you know, these 6 people. They weren't welcome in Pride, and I tried to attend, and they kicked me out. But I asked the guy that was kicking me out what his name was. He wouldn't tell me, and then I start looking online, and I'm going, oh, look, it's the same guy. His picture's over at the University of Nevada, Reno, School of Social Work. He's an assistant professor. So they're a public institution. Therefore, they're open to public records requests. So I went over to where he worked to try to get the public records request, because I figure if you've got a government employee, it's a board member of a nonprofit, non-governmental organization, and they're enforcing political bans, there's probably a problem. And my question is, does the University of Nevada, Reno funnel money to this nonprofit organization so that they can continue their political work against political candidates and push political agendas that's in violation of IRS law? I don't think that's stalking anybody. I think that's what I normally do is doing this journalism thing is you follow up on leads, you do lawful processes like public records requests, you go into their offices during the normal business hours like the law says, and you do an oral request, again, like the law says. And if you want to go look at the law, it's NRS, I think it's 239-010, 239-017. One says during normal office hours, and the 017 says they got to take oral requests. So I guess according to these attorneys, following the law is now predatory behavior and physically pursuing people. I've never physically pursued anybody. I simply drive to the university, walk into the university, take my camera with me, like, well, everybody's got a camera in their pocket, and I walk into a school where they keep the records according to law, and I try to ask for the dean, and the dean throws a tizzy fit and wants to deny my records requests, even though I'm committing a lawful act. And then this attorney describes it as, well, that's pursuing people. And then I went up to TMCC. This is where a gal named Yvonne Allen, how I found out about her is she posted on Facebook, and her post basically said that they want to have this Pride event as a closed event to the public. That way they could exclude the people that they think are against them. Well, obviously, they think that I'm one of the people against them. Again, I'm not against any of them. Do what you want, but don't interfere in my world in letting me do what I want or anybody else wants to do on a public street, in a public place, at a public college, dealing with adults. God bless them. Anyways, let's get back to this restraining order issue here. So, physically pursuing, I deny that. They put that in their thing. Then they say that I have been witnessed twice. Look at this. This is good. You guys will like this. I've been witnessed twice loitering in front. Where does it go? Right. Whoop, wrong button here. Sorry about that. Let me get back to where I was. Witnessed twice loitering in front of the office building, according to the declaration of Guadalupe Garcia and Jerry Scott. They say I was loitering. They say I was loitering in front of their building. What is it? They're fearful. This is just nuts, people. loitering in front of their building. And then they say that I was outrageous. Anyways, the cool thing about society today is we all got these cool little cell phone devices that track our every move. GPS is a wonderful thing in these. And if you didn't know, at least I use a Samsung, not an iPhone first. An iPhone will do the same thing too, is you can go back and track your history and show exactly where you were. So these people have written declarations, affidavits to the courts. Let's see. Let me share that with you here. Here's one of them. And so this woman swears. Let's see. She swears she's over 18. She's a receptionist at Sierra Crest Business Law Group, and they represent Build Our Center. And she says, in the early afternoon of September 16th, 2025, around 1:45 p.m., she witnessed a man driving his vehicle slowly past Sierra Crest Business Law Group. Now, I've been to Sierra Crest Business Law Group. Every time I go, I bring my video camera and I record the interaction. And the reason I go to Sierra Crest Law Group is to drop off and serve them papers in relation to this lawsuit. Other than that, I don't give a shit about them. So she goes on to say, driving his vehicle slowly past the Sierra Crest Business Law Group. Anyways, if you go look at the map in this place, they're back off of the main road. To drive past their windows, I'd have to drive through their parking lot. Again, GPS people. GPS, I was nowhere near that. Nowhere near that. So if I've got GPS data and they're saying that I was there, are they lying or are they being honest? So in the early afternoon, slowly past Sierra Crest Law, I observed him looking unnervingly into our windows. I'm driving a car, they said. Now, you guys have all been by these office buildings, and I don't recall. I should go back and look at their office buildings, but I don't think you can really see into their windows. Anyways, I wonder what kind of car I was driving, because by sending this to the court, well, let me just preface this. I've already responded to this motion, and I've asked the judge for some limited discovery. And what I want from Sierra Crest Law Group is I want their metadata from the documents that were written. In other words, did these individuals actually write these documents, or did somebody else write them and they just signed them? Because again, this is just a patent lie right here. I didn't drive by anywhere with that. So upon being presented with a picture of Mr. Rebar, so I guess they're handing out my pictures now. There's my picture again on the banned list, a political banned list that the city of Reno enforced against me, keeping me out of public events. And she realized that me driving past them made her very uncomfortable because I was not supposed to be at their office that day. And by the way, this is private property that this law firm is on. It's not public property. All of the actions that I've ever, go back and look at all my videos. Do I ever really go into private property? I'm always in public property, because public property you can't trespass me from unless well, you can trespass me, but hell, you can take, I've been taken to jail for being in public property. But legally you can't do anything as long as you're not breaking any laws. I never went on their property without a cause to serve them some papers. And I was never there on this date. So anyways, let's go back to this other complaint here. So we've got, that was the one on September 16th, where they said I'm driving by their office. Let's see here. Okay. 2 minutes later. Which page am I on? I'm on the wrong page. I'm sorry. I'll get back to the right page here. At least the one that I'm looking at. I got bad eyes, so it's hard to read. BOC, so fearful of their safety, Ms. Curtis had to buy an alarm system for her house. She wants me to pay for her alarm system, by the way. We'll see what the judge says, because I'm going to share with you what I shared with the judge and my motion opposing this. But let's get into the next declaration. So the next declaration is by Jerry Scott. And Jerry Scott says, I'm over the age of 21 and competent to testify regarding the matters asserted here. She's employed as a or he, I don't want to, or it. We're on the liberal side here, and I don't understand the picking your gender. No, that's you're either a guy or you're a gal. Anyways, Jerry is employed as a paralegal with Sierra Crest Business Law Group, and they represent Our Center, a defendant named in certain proceedings currently pending before the United States District Court in and for the state of Nevada, which is entitled Rebar versus Washoe County. Yep, that's the lawsuit we got. So she says, on the evening of Monday, September 15th, around 5:18 p.m., I witnessed a male person standing outside of the front door of Sierra Crest Business Law Group after I got in my car. And she observed he was still loitering outside of the office. Where does it say it here? On the evening, male person law group, after I got in my car, observed he was still loitering outside of the office, found his conduct peculiar enough to notice physical appearance and behavior. His presence made me comfortable because it was close of business. The following morning, I addressed this with my coworkers, and they said that it was me, Drew Rebar. So they're saying that I was loitering outside there. Again, let's pull this up here. Let's see here. What can I show here? Your timeline. So this is September 15th here. Let's bear with me for just a minute here. So according to my GPS, this is at 5:18. Between 4:49 on my GPS to 5:06 p.m., I was driving, and yeah, I wasn't anywhere near that. So again, cell phones, they track every move, track every phone call, and yeah, so that's what they're saying. Is they're saying that I was loitering outside their office. They're saying that I was driving by their office. Again, this is all on private property. I don't got time to go stand around outside of a law office. I know there's going to be no interaction with public officials, and that's all that I'm about. So they're making up some more lies about me. God bless them. And let's see here. So this is what I have got to say to them in my opposition to them getting a restraining order and taking down all my videos and trying to quell my free speech. And I'm using this for political purposes because I want to make political change. I think everybody has the right to free speech. Call me a Nazi, call me well, I'm already called those things. Call me deplorable, call me garbage. I'm called those things too. That's all free speech. My free speech is I'm just trying to show what the government's saying about people. I don't give a crap if you're on the left or you're on the right. I posted things about, Governor Lombardo. I posted some things about his administration. Sisolak posted stuff about him. I don't give a crap. Right, left. I think the people in the middle are the ones that are right. But let's just stay in the middle. Let's keep everybody, equal. Anyways, back to this right here. Back to this right here. So I'm opposing their motion, obviously. And they made a fatal error. So when, I don't know if you've seen my video showing Allison Curtis got an email or a letter, a cease and desist over to the UNR Police Department. And the UNR sergeant specifically mentions Attorney Allison Curtis's name without me bringing it up. They said this is a cease and desist from Allison Curtis. And I got an email from her saying she never gave them any of that stuff. Well, she obviously gave it to somebody. So she either gave them the cease and desist or she gave the cease and desist to one of her people. And remember, she only represents the corporation, Our Center. She doesn't represent any of the members, the directors, the people that work there, or the people that go there. She just represents them. So what person, if it wasn't her, was she giving? Oh, I think I know. She said it somewhere in one of these filings. She's trying to pass the blame off. Or maybe she's being honest. Maybe she didn't give it to somebody. But why would an attorney give a cease and desist letter to somebody that's not named in the case and somebody that she's not representing? But back to this. Plaintiff's opposition to defendant Build Our Center motion for restraining order. So there's a fatal error. There's called a safe harbor. And what I've discovered in federal lawsuits is if you screw up, like this attorney did, she's got to be offered a safe harbor, a time where she can resolve the issues with the other party, me, and we can solve the problem instead of getting the court and the judge to waste their time, because, you know, that's taxpayer dollars paying for the court and the judge and all that crap. So the parties should really work these things out. So safe harbor is a time where she's got a period of time to work things out with me before I make any motions or file anything against her that could, you know, potentially harm her career, bar complaints with the court, things like that. Curtis, I'm still open to safe harbor with you. If you want to talk about these other issues, let's talk. I'd much rather resolve things between us than utilize the court. Let me be really clear about that. I want to solve the problems. The court thing just seems like a big waste of time instead of reasonable people sitting down with each other and going, this is right, this is wrong, let's solve the problem. Evidently, Ms. Curtis is against that. So anyways, for safe harbor, I've given her that opportunity with the issue with the UNR police, where her name was mentioned without me bringing it up. On the other hand, with this motion she brought against me to get the restraining order, guess what she never gave me? So, that being said, September 12th, September 12th, 2025, Defense Counsel Allison Curtis wrote, I am unaware of any communication on my end with anyone from UNR and the School of Social Work or their security. Hang on, let me see if I can share this with everybody real quick. Let me see what I can do to share something here. Yeah, where did it go? Here we go. And let me blow this one up for everybody here. Okay, so plug this here and let's do this.
Okay, so this is what it's a private attorney cease and desist.
From Lindsay Liddell, Sierra Crest Law Firm, right?
This is Allison Curtis.
Allison Curtis. Lindsay Liddell. Okay. Now notice I mentioned the name Lindsay Liddell. I never said Allison Curtis. Get back to the right page here. Sorry about that. Okay, there we go. We're back on the right page. So anyways, my argument against her is Ms. Curtis, let's talk, or let's email. I know you don't want to talk to me because I want to record all the conversations. I know you don't like the emails with me because, well, I'm going to make videos and share with the public what's going on with this public lawsuit. Public courts, by definition, are open to the public. I'm just sharing the public documents here. But you don't like that. Or you don't like my words, one or the other. So basically, I'm saying that her motion is procedurally defective because there's a bunch of case law that says she's got to give me the safe harbor. So according to the case law, the judge has got to kick this motion for restraining order out. Now, my problem is I don't trust the courts. All these judges, lawyers, they're all in the same club. Well, and for those of you that either hate him, or those of you that love him, or those of you that don't have an opinion on him, Trump was a presidential candidate. Again, love him, hate him, whatever. It's all about the First Amendment, not about the person. Trump was quashed and restrained from saying anything about his legal cases while he was running for office. So my fear is I'm not a known person, except for these videos, that the court's going to shut me down, going to take all my videos down, and this is my way of getting out to the public. Because I think that the people should be able to know what's going on. But anyways, the judge should just deny her request based on this safe harbor rule. And then I go in here to say that, she's lying about this one video where the UNR police sergeant mentioned her name with regard to the cease and desist letter. So again, I believe in one of her filings, she says that she gave the cease and desist letter to Dr. Alan Ratliff, the guy that kicked me out of Pride. So why would she give a cease and desist letter to somebody she doesn't represent? Why is she trying to protect people that she doesn't represent? Because an attorney is supposed to work for the entity, in this case, Build Our Center, Incorporated, the entity she represents. And I've asked her in other emails, does she represent any other people? And she says she represents Build Our Center, not the individuals. Now, if these individuals need legal protection, she needs to represent them as an attorney instead of representing everybody under the table and trying to quash my free speech rights and from sharing with the public what's really going on. So these Build Our Center people and the lawyers that represent them, in my opinion, are lying sacks of, well, you know what. Maybe you agree, maybe you don't agree. You, the public, you get to figure it out for yourself. That's just my opinion. Well, I think that my GPS shows exactly what's going on. And I might have just been filming a video during one of these incidents that they're mentioning here. I might just have been at the Reno Sparks Visitor, or RSCVA, Reno Sparks Convention Visitors Authority, doing a video with one of their representatives during one of the times that they say I was near this Our Center place, or the Sierra Crest Law Group place. I might have more videos. I might have more evidence than just GPS, but I think the GPS pretty much solves the problem. Now, what'll be interesting is, like I said, I'm looking for the metadata from when these lawyer people wrote these declarations. Did Jerry write Jerry's declaration? Did Guadalupe, and if I'm saying your name wrong, I apologize, Guadalupe write her own declaration, or did somebody else write them? So I want the metadata from the computers. So Judge, hopefully you'll give me that information. Also want the GPS from these people to see where they were. They're saying that I was at certain places. I got my GPS. So were they really at work at those days? Was she walking out the door at 5:18 p.m.? What will their GPS say about them? And then obviously I want to confront accusers. So I've asked the courts to allow me to, put them on the stand, put them under oath, and ask them some questions. What kind of car was I driving when I was driving by? I got a few different kinds of cars. What kind of car was it? And again, I was taking videos on some of those days, so I might even have pictures of my cars. you should really be careful of making accusations against anybody unless you're 100% true to the courts, especially somebody like me and many other people that have a propensity to record our actions. We've got dash cameras, we've got phones. Technology is a curse, and at the same time, sometimes it's a blessing. So anyways, that's part of what's going on with my lawsuit with Our Center. Today, I'm going to go down to the city of Reno, and I'm going to talk to the city of Reno about their enforcement of the banned list. Because you've got a city government enforcing a political ban list. Let me go over this ban list. Nichelle Hull, nice gal, super good, just a nice human being. She's a member of the Republican Party Central Committee in Washoe County. Cliff Nellis, again, great guy. He's a member of the Washoe County Central Committee for the Republicans. Bruce Parks, he's the chairman of the Republican Washoe Counties. Drew Rebar, that's me. I'm also Republican. You got to choose Republican or Democrat if you're going to run. You can't really run as an independent. I choose Republican because men are men, women are women. I'm in this furry thing. Don't believe you can chop off your penis and get implants and take estrogen to become a woman. I don't believe men should be in women's sports. I don't believe women can become men. I'm pretty basic. Men have our roles in society. Women have their roles in society. And thank God we're totally unique and different. Women are great. Men are great. And if you've got other issues in life where you've got some medical conditions, well, that's not this whole trans ideology garbage. That's why I can't be a Democrat. On the other hand, I think I try to be generally very, very libertarian in my views, just because I believe in the Constitution that guarantees all of us liberty. So you should be able to go decide whatever you want to do. And my morals and my ethics, well, they're my morals and my ethics. You got to live your life with your morals and your ethics. As long as you're following the law and not hurting anybody, go live your life. On the other hand, I'm a fiscal conservative. I don't think we should spend more money than we're bringing in our government. I think we should have lower taxes and have people have the freedom to use their money the way they want to use their money, as opposed to sucking the money out of the people that work hard every day. I've worked hard every day since I was about 10 years old and started mowing grass. Got a job at Jack in the Box when I was 16, got another job when I was 17, and I've been working all of my life, even when I go to school. Built business, run businesses, and I've paid a lot of taxes in my time. And then I see a lot of people out there that don't pay any taxes, that get government grants, that suck the taxpayer money out of the people that work hard. And since I'm one of the guys that hasn't worked for the government, hasn't gotten a bunch of government money, but paid into the government, personally, I resent the people sucking money out of the system that I work hard for. So it's harder for me to take care of my family. I'm opposed to that. And then you've got all these government employees that work for the government that are making 6 figures a year, working 40 hours a week, or maybe they're working a little bit more, but how many jobs are out there in the public sector? If you're working at a restaurant, you're sweeping the streets, you're digging a ditch, you're doing whatever, sitting in an office, sitting in a medical facility, just the average human being, which I think most of us are. And you're working hard and you're barely scraping by. Yet at the same time, we've got this government that's paying some people very, very, very well. And after they're done working for 20 years or so, they get a lifetime retirement, again, at our expense. And we've all got to keep working after 20 years. So I think that's a bit wrong. And then these people don't have any accountability. And that's my real issue. This Our Center thing is just, sorry about that. So yeah. So if you think the Sierra Crest law attorney, Allison Curtis, and her employees are being honest, if you think that I was outside their office, driving by their office, outside their office, standing there, loitering at 5:18 p.m., I'd much. Well, if you think they're honest, God bless you. If you think I'm being honest in my GPS and where I was at and where my videos show that I was at, why do these attorneys have to lie? Make your case on the truth, settle your case on the truth, or we're going to let the judge rule on the case and see what happens. Be a whole lot less expensive if we just come to a resolution and solve the problem, as opposed to sitting here fighting about lies. So my belief is Allison Curtis